welcome to the video. And as usual, before I get started, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe if you're new to this content. And to my current subscribers, I appreciate you guys more. Let's just get right to it. So the Safemoon price right now is 130 Bitcoins at 26,000. And there's been some updates that have been released from the Safemoon core team in reference to the activity highlights that pertains to the projects that they're working on and the statuses of those projects. In particular, we're all focusing on how are things going with the blockchain. But before I get into that, there's some information that's actually coming out of Discord that somebody posted, John, in reference to where does he see the projects or any challenges in the next 3 to 6 months with delivery of these deliverables that supposed to be coming out for Safemoon as we're expecting them. And John pretty much responded that, there's pretty much not that much challenges, very few unknowns, but a lot of things that he is looking at, it seems as a win-win. There'll be some additional integration or implementation of Safemoon, so that's yet to be seen. So the next 6 months is actually going to be really, really interesting for Safemoon as it pertains to deliverables of our projects that they're working on. So let's talk about the activity highlights that they went on and released to everybody yesterday. Basically now, about 24 hours later. So I had a chance to really go through them. I'm going to go ahead and just read a bullet point. They say, testing of the wallet endpoint. So they are continuous test of the endpoints to make sure things are working as it should. And the reason why they have to continue test the endpoints because the endpoints, again, don't have to really be the physical or tangible things that we touch, but the different endpoints from the application, the APIs, and all the things that actually connect with the blockchain or all the other features and things that actually going to make it work. They want to make sure that the functionalities are operational, and they have to keep testing that. Maybe it's a high chance they're probably seeing some bugs in reference to the coding and reference to how it actually interacts, and they're fine-tuning the stuff. So there's a continual testing of what is known as the Block Explorer with the MVP and UI and UX. Now, the Block Explorer, I want to pause on that for a minute. Where it's a continue to test of the Block Explorer MVP, which is the minimum value product, UI and UX. So I'm gathering, are they going to be integrating the UI and UX with the blockchain? When we do look at the Block Explorer, there may be a new flavor of the Block Explorer that we may not be familiarized with, especially when going and looking at a transaction on the blockchain. Safemoon may have a lot of different features that are going to be second to none. So I'm really curious about that, is that they mentioned that they're going to be adding UI, and then for the user experience, are there going to be buttons and how is it going to look? So it's most likely going to look a lot more different than the Binance Smart Chain with the blockchain, how things look. So this should be really interesting because I would be really curious to see what it's going to look like because they have specifically emphasized on that area. They're going to be adding UI and UX to that as it pertains to the Block Explorer. So that's to be seen. Let's just stay tuned for that. They also mentioned the Dockers, which is file-based deployment. Just guys, this is what they use. Let's say with AWS to go ahead and deploy, let's say bug fixes or improvements to the environment. File-based, and you can go ahead and revert it if there's an issue. Or this is how you push the changes virtually to some of those different things. So that continues to happen. So the information we got on the last activity report, these are the same things. It's just that there's a continuation. The only thing is that I'm just curious about the UI and the UX of the Block Explorer. And if I get into a meeting, I want some more information on that, and a little more granular information because just want to see if I'm heading in the right direction. They're fine-tuning the TPS for the Safemoon Orbital Shield integration. Now, TPS, I'm thinking that's the transactions per second. I could be wrong, but that's the way I'm gathering it in reference to the Safemoon Orbital Shield integration. Now, there's a lot going on with that security side, so it means that they're doing something, but they want to make sure that the security features with the Safemoon Orbital Shield actually works as it should in reference to the speed, because whenever there's security involved as it pertains to application, it has to scan that application to make sure that that application is not susceptible to anything or has any file in there that is unknown that can actually be nefarious or actually cause problems. Because for all of the well-known antivirus or prevention type of virus protection programs, whenever you implement those things into an environment, it actually adds a lot of processing speed, performance, and there's degradation because it's constantly scanning. So in most cases, in most environment, what they normally do is they scale back on a lot of the files that are being scanned to say, hey, bypass these files are safe. So right now they're probably doing the fine tuning transaction per second based on the Safemoon orbital shield to make sure that the files or how it's actually interacting, that it's not too intrusive or it's causing a performance issue. Now, we did get a degradation performance in reference to bridges and all that stuff. Now, that could have been in reference to the security scanning of those files, and as a result, there was an alert. So I could just be speculating. I'd like to hear a little more information on that. And, so these are the updates that actually came out in reference to that activity report. So this is actually a really good activity report, guys. And I'm really, really happy that Safemoon is constantly releasing this information. And again, for additional information, you can go on the website and look at the focus map to see what they're working on. There's a lot of things that are still in progress and a lot of things that are pretty much done that, we need to actually applaud Safemoon for actually working on, because, as a tech company, once a project is done, it's actually a relief for a lot of developers, because, you can move on. You get tired of working on the same thing after a while, and then you get to work on something new, which makes it even more exciting, because I'm sure a lot of those developers, they're in the trenches of coding, and they'll see the UAT team come back and say, oh, there's an issue with this, and they have to go back, not to the drawing board, but they have to go ahead and fine-tune to the satisfaction of the objective that was actually set to deliver the application. So like, share, subscribe, guys. If you haven't liked, pause this video, go back and like, because we need to let YouTube know, again, that Safemoon is the real deal, and they are not just a crypto token delivery and processing company. It's a technological company that in a few years will probably be even more known than where they are today. Safemoon is a baby, guys. It's a baby. Their companies have been around for a very, very long time. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon started off as a book company, very, very small. And they started off and they gradually started implementing, and they went from books to actually offer an e-commerce type when it comes to selling books online and products online. And it just started to scale as time go on. Safemoon scaling capability here. We know that they're building the infrastructure, the back end. They're scaling with these applications. They're using AWS. And this is what technological companies do. And for all of those other crypto companies that are not actually scaling their environment, they can have issues if volume tend to come. And let's say, for example, we do get that bull run, and somebody go ahead and release a crypto token very similar to like how Safemoon or all the other tokens, and they get a lot of volume. Things may happen. They may have crashed their buying tokens, and they might crash the site. Things may happen. We have seen that happen with Safemoon. And as time goes on, you have to upgrade the infrastructure to go ahead and withstand the volume. And this is the time when a lot of companies do what's known as stress testing. You have to do these stress testing to mitigate the volume of our transaction coming in. So the TPS for the SOS, for Safemoon Orbital integration, I think these are the things that they're doing. They're probably going through that stress test to try to see if they can simulate what's happening. Now, you can't really simulate every single thing from a technological standpoint, but there are applications to simulate 1 million, 2 million, 3 million users, especially in a testnet environment, to simulate people buying and selling in high volume. And you'll see how well the environment act, and they would recommend you may need to add more memory to these particular servers, or you may need to add on even more servers. And most of these will be done virtually, where you'll spin up a lot more virtual servers to what is known as load balance the environment, so that there's enough resources available to go ahead and do it. Now, there's storage. A lot of people, you have to get storage to go ahead and run these things if you have databases and all that stuff. And that's a whole nother technological story that I'm not going to get into, because resources, the back end of an infrastructure, is where all the expense is actually incurred at that point. So in order for Safemoon to actually scale, there's going to cost money, because there's storage that actually eats up a lot of stuff. There's a database that's there that actually is very, very expensive to go ahead and maintain it. From time to time, they have to go ahead and add more blocks to the environment, what are known as clusters. They add more clusters for storage to go ahead and handle the load of processing and data information, especially with that block explorer information. They might be using a database to go ahead and store that information, which is what you do so you can go ahead and track. So again, like, share, subscribe, guys. Get this with us as much people as possible, because this is the educational piece of Safemoon that we need everybody to know, because the price of Safemoon right now being at 30130, which is an optimum price to get in, and the price of that of just $130, you can get 2 million tokens. Now, there will be a few people that will be watching this video. Like, I do have a lot of friends watching this video, guys, in the Bahamas that are multimillionaires. And a lot of my tech friends that have very, very deep pocket, very, very deep pockets, a lot of them still haven't bought yet. So to my friends that are watching this video, you know who you are, that I know for sure that is value over $500,000 net worth and up. And yes, I do associate you guys because I really appreciate you guys. You guys need to pay attention to Safemoon. Because if you guys don't know me, whenever I do invest in something, it's no joke. I take it very, very serious. So for those of you in the Bahamas that are watching this video, this is a great opportunity. Even though it's not financial advice, try to get a stake or a position in Safemoon because you will not want to be left behind when this happens. For all of you international as well as here in the United States that are watching this video, Safemoon is the real deal. Okay? They position themselves to align themselves above what is known as a startup company. And who knows, sooner or later, Safemoon might be one of those venture capitalist companies that's going to go ahead and start to acquire different companies as time go on. Because as they grow, they may see another company that's doing something very similar, or they might go ahead and buy their idea and go ahead and integrate it. This is what big companies do. Why go ahead and reinvent the wheel when you can just go ahead and acquire the company? And I think a lot of that funds is going to come about as the volume come in, and Safemoon go ahead and build their liquidity, and they go ahead and have monies for operational expenses and capital expenses. So guys, stay with me in reference to the whole trend of how corporations work, blue chip corporations work, and Safemoon is following some of those same trends. And that's why I'm sticking with Safemoon. I'm trying to encourage you guys to look at the bright side of what they're doing, because Safemoon is actually going in a really, really big direction. I see the team actually growing as time going on. There's going to be a lot more outsourcing that's actually going to be going on, because the amount of people that are going to be utilizing the ecosystem, without a doubt, they're going to have to expand. So Safemoon is most likely either looking at that, because as time going, the people that are actually going to be in place, there's not going to be a big enough team to actually handle the amount of things that are happening. So without a doubt, they're going to have to start looking at consulting companies to go and handle resources. Now, Safemoon, just to let you guys know, I do run a consulting company, and if you guys ever need software developers, name it, reach out to me, DM me. I work with a lot of blue chip companies right now, and I get a lot of consultants around the United States. I don't do stuff internationally, but I do have software developers available to write any code, name it. I have people writing Android codes right now and Apple codes right now for very, very big clients here in the United States. So guys, I just want to bring this information to you guys to let you guys know that, you know, your investment in Safemoon is not one that you should take lightly. And for all of those people that are on the fence, you know, yes, you may not know that much about Safemoon. You've heard a lot of FUD, and you know, you're wondering, should this be a good investment? You know, if you have to really think hard about it, you know, maybe it's not for you. Okay, but all I can tell you, not saying that every single investment that I invest in is a gold mine, but my success rate is actually pretty high. And none of my information is financial, but I just want to let you guys to know that this is how I make money. I take my time, I look at the landscape, and I do diversify, okay? I do diversify in the stock market, the S&P 500, and I invest in growth stocks. I don't really invest in stocks that actually pay out a dividend. I invest in growth stocks where rather than take the dividend and send it to the shareholders, they'll go ahead and put it back into the company and they expand the business. And this is the reason why I'm able to leverage and be able to now see the same thing that I'm going to do in the crypto space. And I'm looking at Safemoon as that diamond that's actually in that rock that a lot of people are going to give up and not go ahead and find that diamond. But just for the small few of us that actually invested in Safemoon, I feel as if we are the 1%. And no matter what we do, a few people will come in, but they're going to be very, very conservative in the amount of tokens that they're going to get. They will all make money. And for those of you that want to be conservative, 2 million tokens should be your minimum that you should get in, because the price is being so low right now. What do you have to lose? $130? That can go ahead and have a nice good date night with your spouse, girlfriend, or whoever your significant other is, but you'll be back down to zero. And that $130 can go and invest in Safemoon, which can turn out to a few $100,000. So I just want to go ahead and bring that to you guys, and hope you guys enjoy your weekend, guys. You know, and until I see you guys again, you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.